Hello, today I'm looking at Majjhima Nikaya number 53, which is the Sekha Sutta, which is translated as the disciple in higher training. Now the location is the Sakyan country at a place called Kapilavatthu in Nigroda's Park. And the people involved are Buddha, and Buddha apparently is a member of the Sakyan tribe, or was. Ananda, who is one of Buddha's followers, and the local people, the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu. Now a new assembly hall has been erected for the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu, and the people have requested that Buddha be the first to use it, that this will lead to the Sakyans' welfare and happiness for a long time. So Buddha consented to this, and the Sakyans made the assembly hall ready. With the assembly hall ready, Buddha entered the assembly hall, followed by the Sangha of bhikkhus, his followers, then followed by the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu. Buddha talked of the Dhamma for much of the night. Then, before resting, he spoke to his follower, the Venerable Ananda, asking that he speak to the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu about the disciple in higher training who has entered upon the way. So Ananda addresses Mahanama, the Sakyan leader, thus: Mahanama, here a noble disciple is possessed of virtue, guards the doors of his sense faculties, is moderate in eating, devoted to wakefulness, endowed with 7 good qualities. He is one who has obtained at will the 4 jhanas that constitutes the higher mind and provides a pleasant abiding here and now. The sutta then goes on to explain these attributes. So how is a follower possessed of virtue? He dwells restrained with the restraint of patimokkha, and the patimokkha is the rules of the monastic order. Currently 227 rules, but perhaps in those days there might have been a few less. The follower is perfect in conduct and resort, and seeing fear in the slightest fault, he trains himself. He trains himself by undertaking the training precepts. And how does the follower guard the door of his sense faculties? On seeing something, he does not grasp at its signs and features. If he left the eye faculty unguarded, evil and wholesome states of covetousness and grief might invade him. So he guards the eye faculty. He undertakes restraint of the eye faculty. And the sutta then goes on to describe the same with regards to the sound and the ear, with odours and the nose, with taste and the tongue, with touch and the body, and with the mind object and the mind. And how is the follower moderate in eating? Here a noble follower takes food neither for amusement nor for intoxication, only for endurance and continuance of the body, for ending discomfort and for assisting the holy life. So he ends old feelings without arousing new feelings, and is healthy, blameless, and lives in comfort. And how is the noble follower devoted to wakefulness? Here, during the day, whilst walking back and forth and sitting, a noble follower purifies his mind of obstructive states. During the first watch of the night, he purifies his mind of obstructive states while walking back and forth and sitting. During the middle watch of the night, he lies down on the right side in the lion's pose, with one foot overlapping the other, mindful and fully aware, after noting in his mind the time for rising. After rising during the third watch of the night, he purifies his mind of obstructive states, whilst walking back and forth and sitting. And how does a noble follower possess 7 good qualities? A noble follower has faith in the Blessed One. He has shame, ashamed of misconduct in body, speech and mind, ashamed of enjoying engaging in evil and wholesome deeds. He has fear of wrongdoing, afraid of misconduct in body, speech and mind, afraid of engaging in evil and wholesome deeds. He has learned much, remembers much which he has learned, and consolidates what he has learned. Such teachings as are good in the beginning, middle and end, with the right meaning and phrasing, affirming a holy life that is utterly perfect and pure. And such teachings he has investigated with his mind and penetrated well by view. He is energetic in abandoning unwholesome states and in undertaking wholesome states. He is steadfast, firm in striving, not remiss in developing wholesome states. He has mindfulness. He possesses the highest mindfulness and skills. He remembers and recollects things that were said and done long ago. He is wise, endowed with the discernment of arising and passing away, leading to the complete destruction of suffering. This is how the noble follower possesses 7 good qualities. And how is a noble follower a person who obtains at will, without trouble and difficulty, the 4 jhanas that constitutes the higher mind and provide a pleasant abiding here and now? And this paragraph then goes on to describe how these jhanas are attained. Secluded from sense pleasures and unwholesome states, he enters upon the 1st jhana. With the stilling of applied and sustained thought, he enters upon the 2nd jhana. With the fading away of rapture, he enters upon the 3rd jhana. And with the abandoning of pleasure and pain, he enters upon and abides in the 4th jhana. Thus, the follower who is possessed of virtue guards the doors of the sense faculties, moderate in eating, devoted to wakefulness, possessed of 7 good qualities, who obtains the 4 jhanas at will. He is called one who is in higher training and has entered upon the way. His eggs are unspoiled. He is capable of breaking out, capable of enlightenment, capable of attaining the supreme security from bondage. Ananda, the Venerable Ananda, who's giving this speech, then gives an analogy of a hen with a clutch of eggs. The eggs have been cared for properly, are capable of hatching safely, even though the mother hen may not be aware of this or wish for this. So too the noble follower who has achieved the higher training is capable of breaking out, capable of enlightenment. So I understand that to mean that the mother hen does not consciously wish for the eggs to break and the chicks to come forth. So too for the noble follower, the next steps will just automatically follow. Now this analogy is also in Majjhima Nikaya number 16, paragraph 27 in the Bodhi translation. That's in the Wilderness of the Heart Sutta. Now Venerable Ananda continues, based upon the same supreme mindfulness, whose purity is due to equanimity, the noble follower recollects his many past lives. This is his first breaking out, like that of the hen's chicks from their shells. Ananda then speaks of the next stage, where the noble follower sees beings pass away and reappear. This is the second breaking out from the shell. The noble follower then enters upon and abides in the deliverance of mind and deliverance by wisdom that are taintless. This is the third breaking out from the shell. Ananda then lists the factors that make up good conduct: guarding the doors of the sense faculties, moderate in eating, devoted to wakefulness, obtaining the 4 jhanas at will. When the noble follower recollects his manifold past lives, when he sees beings pass away and reappear, when he understands how beings pass on according to their actions, when by realizing for himself with direct knowledge the here and now, he enters upon and abides in the deliverance of mind and deliverance by wisdom that are taintless, with the destruction of the taints that pertain to his true knowledge. This noble follower is thus said to be perfect in true knowledge, perfect in conduct. Ananda says, it was said by the Brahma Sanankumara, the noble warrior is the best among people when judged by the tribe, but a person consummate in clear knowing and conduct is the best of beings, human and divine. Ananda concludes by saying that the verse that he just spoke was approved by Buddha. And Buddha responds that it is good that Ananda has spoken to the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu about the followers in higher training who has entered upon the way. And so ends Majjhima Nikaya number 53. Thanks for watching.